Welcome back to the Heal and Restore podcast with your host, me, Randy, and of course, the lovely Miss Cathy, the hostess with the mostest.
You look at me like I'm like you're new here, and welcome.
Oh, I am new here.
You
This
are.
is the first time I've ever done this.
Yeah, you're new every day.
I'm new every day.
You're renewed every day.
I'm renewed every day, and I never know what I'm going to wake up to be.
Oh, that's true.
You know?
That is true.
So,
Yeah.
What can you say?
Yeah. Why don't you?
But that's why you love me so much.
That's true. So,
Because they got a multiple. I showed you one personality, but I got a multiple bunch of them.
why don't we get back to the podcast here?
Oh, is that what this is for?
We're not just here recording because we think
okay.
it's fun. Well, it is fun, but this is not the sole purpose of this.
No, but we got to have fun.
We do have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're here. We're dedicated to helping couples and individuals strengthen their relationships, healing,
Yep.
growth, and honest, open conversation.
Yeah.
We dive into topics like communication, forgiveness, intimacy, family, and emotional connection.
Mm-hmm.
Because healthy love starts with a healed heart.
Yes.
Tune in each week and take the next step toward restoring what matters most.
Yeah.
Your relationship with your better half.
Yeah.
Right?
Not just your better half, it could be your partner, it could be your
partner.
spouse, it could be your children, it could be family, it could be coworkers.
Boss, it can be, it's just any relationship.
Yeah, it's any and all relationships. Yeah.
Because there's a saying, we practice the principles in all of our affairs.
Right.
We wear one hat all the time.
Yeah.
One hat all the time.
Good. So today, this is the week of Christmas. There's a lot going on, hustle and bustle and cooking and baking and preparing. There's a lot of joy in this season. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure in this season, and then sometimes there's a lot of expectations in this season.
There is, all of those.
So,
yes.
We talk a lot about peace on earth this time of year. You hear songs that talk about peace on earth, but the real peace, it really has to begin in our home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so today we're going to introduce this podcast, and we're calling it Peace on Earth Begins at Home. Emotional safety during the holidays.
That's so critical.
Yeah.
Because so many people this time of year, not everybody has good memories of these holidays.
Right. So
we could have lost a lost one. There's just a lot.
There's a lot of things that can take place. So as we open up this podcast, I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to hear a few questions throughout
today.
this.
Yes.
Yeah, throughout this podcast. So each of these questions is an opportunity for you to truly reflect. So the first question that we have for you today is that when you hear the word peace, what do you feel? Is it comfort? Is it pressure? Is it longing? Or is it resistance?
Resistance, that's a tough one.
Yeah, so when you hear the word peace, what do you feel? Do you feel comfort, pressure, longing, or resistance?
Those are great questions and great food for thought.
Yeah, these are great journaling prompts too.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about what peace really means.
Yeah.
Right? And the contrast between culture peace versus emotional peace.
Yeah,
right?
this was a really good place for me to go and do some research on this. I've never really thought about cultural peace versus emotional peace.
And right now, unfortunately, our world is not in a place of cultural peace, unfortunately. So we got to bring it to the family.
Yeah.
Right?
So what is cultural peace?
Cultural peace is when there is no conflict or tension, everyone gets along, or that mindset of don't rock the boat.
Yeah.
You might have heard things like, let's just keep the peace. Or it's the holidays, don't bring that up. Come on, right?
Yeah, right.
What culture peace actually produces are things like suppressed emotions, right? Unspoken resentments, which
Those will
burn you out.
Yeah.
And people pleasing and emotional shutdown.
Yeah.
Those are kids learn. Right, a lot of kids learn.
Right off the bat.
Feelings are unsafe.
Yeah.
Right, and we perpetrate a lot of that during the holidays and then even throughout the So then what's emotional peace?
Yeah.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
Emotional peace is safety, even if there is a disagreement.
Good.
Okay? It's okay to disagree.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just got to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Right? It's the freedom to be honest without fear or punishment. That's huge, right?
That's really good, yeah.
Emotional peace is calm, rooted in self-regulation, not control, right? Not control, right? We don't. When we're trying to control things, we're in a place of non-acceptance. Non-acceptance doesn't mean approval.
Right.
They hear us talk about this all the time, right?
Yeah.
But it feels more like connection over compliance. That's what emotional peace is.
Yeah.
Truth can be spoken with compassion, right? What emotional peace allows is to be able to say how I feel and still be loved.
That's key.
Word of advice. You're not God. You don't have the power to tell people what they should feel, say, or do. Feelings are real. Okay? Feelings are real. We can still disagree without disconnecting. Emotional peace produces secure attachment, healthy boundaries, mutual respect, trust, and intimacy, and children will feel seen and safe.
That's so important.
Children need to be heard, children need to be seen, and they need to feel safe.
And so do we as adults.
Absolutely.
We're going to dive into a lot of that.
Right.
We want to remember, I think the important thing here is we brought kids into this about, in the cultural piece versus the emotional piece, is to remember the kids are around and they're picking up on all of these things.
Exactly.
So we have to think, what do we need as adults? Our children need that as well.
And for those of you that grew up in dysfunctional families, I can speak for myself, is the holidays were no fun time in my house at all, right?
A lot of cultural peace taking place.
A lot of cultural peace. Not taking place.
No, cultural peace was taking place because nobody talked about anything. They shut you down.
Yeah, they shut me down. And plus there's a lot of arguing, screaming, and yelling, and everything else.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Well, peace is not absence of conflict.
Yeah, there's going to be conflict
even
with peace.
That's life.
It's how we work through it.
It's how we work through it. Everyone getting along perfectly. That's not peace. We're going to have disagreements. It's how we handle those disagreements.
Yeah, no, that's
right?
very true.
We've got to be able to handle them responsibly, maturely. That's the word.
And I think with compassion. Understanding.
Absolutely, right.
Even empathy at times.
Right. So, but peace is emotional safety. It's being seen, heard, and respected.
Yeah.
Right. If you want respect, you have to respect.
Yeah, no, that's good.
We're of the belief, you just don't give people respect, even a child. Right. Just the way it is.
Yeah.
So why the holidays expose emotional fracture? The holidays don't create emotional fracture.
Nope.
They don't create it. They reveal what's already there.
Ouch.
People are good at hiding a lot of stuff, right? On a day-to-day basis, right?
It's true. It's very true.
They act like emotional spotlights, illuminating unresolved wounds, unspoken expectations. Oh man, those are nasty. And fragile attachment patterns that stay hidden the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So it's a time of year where everything comes to a head.
Yeah.
To put it quite frankly.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? So the reflective question for now is this. In your home growing up, what did peace look like or not look like? Again, another good drawing.
I kind of want to answer this question here.
Go on.
In my home growing up, I would say I had a pretty good home growing up. I mean, there was some dysfunction, don't get me wrong. There was some things that were passed on. But in general, I felt like peace was joy. Peace to me was laughter. Peace was being together as a family, preparing meals together. That's what it looked like for me growing up. So I have a hard time this holiday, when the holidays come around, it is peaceful to me. It is joy. So, and I think that it's a true reflection of what we saw growing up.
Yes.
And, how we grow into our adulthood. Again, it's learned behavior. So for me, my home growing up was peace. It was joy. It was fun. It was laughter. It was family coming together. Just hanging out and being present with each other.
See, and that was the difference between me and Cathy. Me growing up was just the opposite. I've always said that if there's angels on earth, God gave me Cathy because she was able to balance all this out in me. And thank God for that, because I mean, it was work for me to learn around the holidays. My dad died when I was 12, being abused, and then the fights that went on between my mother and my stepfather over the holidays. It was traumatic.
Yeah.
And so Cathy brought peace, and thank God, because it took me some time, but her family always accepted me, right? And I have my grandmother, my grandfather on my dad's side. So, you know, I learned over time that holidays, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, it's a time for family to be together and to love each other. Right?
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about this one. This is where a lot of things get a little sideways, and that's why can holidays trigger emotional insecurity? I mean, some people have to manage emotional security all year long, but there are times where the holidays really trigger it. So, you know, one of the reasons that we may have a heightened expectation in unspoken traditions is because holidays come loaded with expectations. You know, things like family harmony, meaningful connection, gratitude and joy. You know, when reality doesn't match the internal script that we have, that's when disappointment will surface. You know, and so people don't just grieve what is happening. They grieve what they had hoped would happen, and that's under those unspoken expectations or those unspoken traditions.
So one of the things right there, expectations such as family harmony. With my first wife, all right, I can remember going to her parents' house Christmas morning, and I wouldn't be there an hour, and I was getting calls from my mother and stepfather to get back home and be with them, right? And you know, that's not what Christmas is about, demanding and everything else. You know, Cathy and I, with our children, you know, we've been very respectful of that. They're married, they got in-laws, so we're not the only people in their lives, and
We've learned to share.
We've learned to share very respectfully, and we've had to make some adjustments, but it's worked great. Right?
You know, and then another thing that can trigger an emotional insecurity around the holidays is when your family of origins, the dynamics of that resurface. You know, because many times we're returning to familiar people and places, and that can activate old emotional roles. And I know many of you have heard this. You know, the roles could be the peacekeeper, the caretaker, the rebel, or the invisible one. I personally have been known to be a peacekeeper. But even emotional healthy adults, we can regress. We can regress back into those childhood patterns when we get around family, because we know how to navigate that well.
Exactly.
You know, so we run back to that old navigation pattern.
We're comfortable living in that pattern.
And then another trigger that can pop in emotional insecurity.
This is a bad one.
Yeah, this one's a hard one. It's that trauma memory and sensory triggers. So remember, the body remembers what the mind tries to forget. Now, that doesn't always work, but it could be things like the holiday sights. It could be smells. It could be music. Maybe there's traditions that can activate that memory. But for those that have experienced this, one of the things we need to remember is that trauma is stored in the nervous system, and it can create emotional memories without words, as well as long-buried grief or fear. So we don't have to say things. These trauma triggers are in the nervous system, and so it could be a smell. Maybe it's something, a holiday decoration that reminds you of a lost one. So there are things that our trauma memory brings up that create these emotional insecurities in the holidays.
It's a perfect time for the new book I'm writing right now, and it's called Understanding. Hold on, I don't have the title memories, and I don't want to choke it up.
Oh, the new book that you're in the process of.
The new book
I thought you meant the one you just released.
No, that one I got something later. Understanding the long-term effects of childhood abuse, a practical guide for survivors, partners, and anyone who loves them. And the reason I chose this book to write is because this exact thing we're talking about. You know, a lot of people don't understand the long-term effects, right? And they just will get over it. It happened a long time ago. What are you still holding on to that for? So this book will help a lot of people understand all this stuff.
No, I love that. I love that. And I just read the beginning of the first chapter, and I'm thinking, this is good. This is going to be good. People are going to benefit from this.
Right.
And then the last item I want to talk about on what holidays trigger in the emotional insecurity is that many of us will revert to our old roles, and that's that fixer, that peacekeeper, that invisible one. You know, holiday, it increases our pressure to perform, and then when performance collapses, we become exhausted and our resentments start popping up again.
So here's a typical thing that happened to me. We hosted Thanksgiving and Christmas for years. Dad was a turkey cutter.
Oh, yeah.
So we moved out here to Arizona, and my son, they started hosting Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So the first year we were over there, and I said, well, can I cut the turkey? No, Dad, sit down. It's our turn. I said, oh, I can't even cut the turkey no more.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, but what that is that was a blessing.
Yeah.
And it's now time for me. I don't have to perform.
Right.
Right. I don't have to exhaust myself. I can just sit back, chill, and watch the grandkids play.
Yeah.
Watch the football game. So, but it was a blessing to Cathy and I to see our children host the way we used to host.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So our old roles that at one time created exhaustion and performance and all these things, we get to now sit back. We don't have to bring up those old roles anymore.
Right. But of course, Cathy being the mom, she's always in there doing something.
I like to help people.
Yeah.
I like to help. I ask, what can I do to
Yeah,
help?
you
It's
do.
not
That's
like I just jump in there.
I will say that Cathy's very good. She just doesn't jump in there.
Yes.
And I do the same thing. I ask if there's anything I can do to help. Nope, we got it, Dad.
All right.
All right, you got it.
So what I want to close out this little category in when we're talking about the holidays that trigger emotional insecurity is that what role do you find yourself slipping back into during the holidays? And I'll be real honest, I don't feel like I'm not slipping into any roles these days. I feel like, number one, I've worked through a lot of things. But number two, the holidays don't feel as stressful as they used to because we're not hosting anymore. You know, we
Our
get the
kids are
benefit
growing
of
up,
we get the benefit of enjoying it. And this year we're doing something a little different. We've had some friends invite us over, and so it's going to be new for us to go to somebody else's house and just be present, and enjoy the company.
It is, very much so.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So, what is emotional safety really? What does it really look like?
Yeah.
Emotional safety is knowing I can be honest without fear of punishment, rejection, or withdrawal. That is huge.
Yeah.
And that emotional safety shouldn't only apply during the holidays.
No.
It should apply every single day of your life, right?
Yeah.
Knowing people aren't perfect. You're going to make mistakes, but as long as they going up to the mistake, say, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, I want to hear what you have to say, and I really do care what you're saying.
Yeah.
Unwind it.
Yeah. Take it back.
Take it back. Emotional safety is knowing I can be honest without fear of punishment, rejection, or withdrawal. Signs of emotional safety are things
when it's missing.
When it's missing. Signs of emotional safety when it's missing is walking on eggshells.
Yeah, I've been there.
You've been there. I mean, and I don't blame you. Before I got sober, it got pretty bad for a little bit there, right? Shutting down or exploding.
Ooh, that was me. I was that passive aggressive.
But you shut down, I exploded.
Well, I eventually exploded. It just took a while for me to get there. I would just stuff.
But you weren't a bad exploder, not like I was.
I sure felt like
I
it.
didn't think you were, right?
Yeah, I sure felt like it though.
Over-functioning, people-pleasing.
Yeah.
So you jump in there, you're doing, more than you even asked to do because you're trying to people-please because you need approval from somebody. But when we do that, actually causing a little bit of angst in the atmosphere.
In the atmosphere, and exhaustion, and then resentments. All of that falls into place.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, Garrett, I want to cut the turkey. I've been doing it for years. Let me cut it. No, I'm pushing myself on my son.
Right.
It's his turn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I have to honor that.
Yeah.
And how children and grandchildren, this is extremely important, absorb emotional climates.
Yeah.
Cathy
they pick up on that so
Cathy and I are huge on this. We are our children's and grandchildren's emotional guidelines.
Yeah.
They're watching us. They're picking up on everything we do, right? That's just a fact of life.
Yeah, and if you have young children or even grandchildren, and if the environment is not emotionally safe, pay attention to what your children or your grandchildren are doing. Are they acting out? Are they interrupting? Are they, they become the peacekeepers sometimes, so be aware of that. When emotional safety is missing, our children and our grandchildren, they absorb those climates. It's like they're taking the temperature and the climate to decide how they need to show up.
So here's a no-no, a big no-no. So you show up to a family function, and maybe your Uncle Ron's there. You haven't seen him in 6 months or a year. And you walk in with your children, young children, right? And they go, hey, go over and give Uncle Ron a big hug and a kiss. Sit on his lap. No, I don't want to, Mommy. Go do it now. Mom, I don't want to do it. No, Mommy, I don't want to. Go do it now. So, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later. What you're doing is teaching that child not to have boundaries.
Right.
Because your child is saying, I don't feel safe right now with him, right?
We have to honor that.
We have to honor that. I mean, even like with our grandchildren, they got that one age where Garrett would go, my son would go, or even the girls, go tell Grandpa goodbye. I don't want to. Son, I'm fine. I love them. They love me. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
If they don't want to come tell me goodbye, don't force them to.
Yeah.
I know. Now they run to me.
Yeah. Right.
So
we have to create that.
You got to.
That emotional safety for them.
It's a huge, right?
Yeah.
So now we got another reflective question. I like these, man.
Yeah.
Do you feel safer expressing your emotions or hiding them during the holiday?
I don't know. I think if for myself, the holidays bring out a lot of different emotions.
Right.
Ooh, I just got hit with that. They bring out a lot of different emotions, and for me, as I sit here and get all unwound, it feels therapeutic to express my emotions, especially during the holidays. Maybe because my emotions are heightened with my mom being gone. I don't know. For me, it just feels safe right now.
Well, that's the thing with you, Cathy, is I think there's good emotions and bad emotions. Mm-hmm. Emotions are emotions. Let me rephrase it. I think there's healthy emotions and toxic emotions.
Yeah,
right?
That's good.
And you've always been able to express very healthy emotions. I have never heard you express anything but healthy emotions, no matter where we're at.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, the difference is I had a lot of toxic emotions.
Yeah.
And generally, with my dad's sister, my aunt, and that family, when we got together with them, there was a lot of talking, a lot of drinking. And what I found out after I got sober is that my aunt was ready to tell me to go take a hike because I was spewing so much toxic garbage at our family get-togethers because I had all the unresolved childhood trauma in my life. I just felt safe talking to her, but I didn't realize how much resentment she was absorbing because of the way I was expressing it, right?
Yeah.
Right?
And I think too, at no fault of her own, she didn't know how to navigate that
No,
either,
exactly.
So it was, and I can honestly say, that is heavy. I carried a lot I carried as well.
Yeah.
And when we don't know how to navigate that, it doesn't feel healthy.
No, and when she told me that, I went, Gene, I understand. She should let me know. I understand. Yeah. I'm just glad I got the help.
And because most of the time we spent with her in that time of our life was around the holidays.
Right.
It was very healthy. It was very toxic.
Well, Dad was gone. We were around that part of the family. Grandma and Grandpa were there. My dad's mom and dad were there. Died, and then my grandma died, and Dad. It was just. Yeah. It got very. It was a toxic thing.
Yeah. So I just want to repeat this question for the listeners if they're looking at these as journal prompts. Do you feel safer expressing your emotions or hiding them during the holidays? Think about that.
Great question.
So I'm going to jump into couples. We as couples, we have to protect our peace between us. So here's something that is really important. As a couple, we have to establish the us before them mindset. That sounds a little selfish, but let me explain why I say that. The us before them mindset, this is when This is a relationship protective posture.
Yep.
I'll just say that. And this is where a couple prioritizes our emotional safety,
Yes.
our unity and connection over the external pressures that we get from our family, from the traditions, and the expectations that the holidays bring.
Yes. Yes.
And it's not truly about exclusion or selfishness. It's truly, truly, truly about alignment and attachment security. So some of the common holiday stressors that we face is whose family comes first. Now, before I go on and leave that wide open, when we're talking about whose family comes first, my immediate family, my husband and I, that is my immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're married with young children, that is your husband, your wife, and your children. When I talk about whose family comes first, outside of that is extended family. So your first priority is your immediate family. The husband, the wife, and children if you have children
Mm-hmm.
at home. I'm not talking adult children because they become extended family when they marry and move on to their own families.
Right.
The other thing is, money and gift expectations. Randy and I have never really, we've never seen eye to eye, but we found compromise in this over the years. But that will create stress because I know how Randy thinks about gifts and money. And he has calmed down on that, and we found compromise in how we treat money and gift expectations. And I have pulled way back as well.
So,
obviously, retirement does that to you.
How did I feel about gift and money?
You didn't think the kids should get anything for Christmas because it takes away the traditions and what Christmas truly is, the meaning of Christmas.
I thought they should get something, but not like over stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I felt like it was because of the way you expressed it sometimes.
Well, I can understand that.
It was like they don't get anything, they don't need anything. But then the other thing that couples stressed over during the holidays is the emotional exhaustion. There's so much going on. There's lack of communication, things like that are happening. And so we need to really look at what these holiday stressors are, and we need to protect the peace between us. And then the other thing that's really important in order to protect that peace between us is that have those important private check-ins. Hey babe, how are you doing? How are you feeling today?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I can do to help you? How's your soul today? I mean, just asking those really important questions to connect to your spouse. And the last one is just what I'm talking about, is really staying emotionally connected under pressure.
Right.
And I think if we can implement those private check-ins, it gives us the best opportunity to stay emotionally connected.
Right. So, and the other part about that too, the whose family comes first, is that it's really important, like for Cathy and I. Now, how are we going to divide up the holiday, right? Well, maybe this year we're going to do Christmas Eve with your mom and dad, and we're going to do Christmas Day Christmas morning with our kids, right? Or Christmas Day with my family, right? And then we might have to go back and forth. We didn't have a whole lot of issues like that because
we really split
Cathy's
it out
mom and dad, they came over on Christmas Day, and my aunt and uncles, right? So it was all
We were all together.
It's all big. So there's really no stressors over that, right? And the other thing that I want to encourage too is that, maybe hypothetically, maybe I'm gonna just do it this way because I was real close to Cathy's family, but this has no reflection on Cathy's family. Maybe somebody on Cathy's family side that was there, Uncle Tom was there every year, just a little obnoxious little drunk punk, right? Just say it like that.
Good thing I didn't have an Uncle Tom.
No, right? But, and I would go, oh man, is your Uncle Tom going to be there? Yeah, he's going to be there. I says, okay, then here's the deal. I want to go and I want to enjoy your family. But if your Uncle Tom gets out of I think it's going to be best if you and I just say, hey, we got to run, we got to go somewhere else.
And those fall under the boundaries that we're going to
talk about later, right?
Yeah, it's
always have
so good.
An
exit plan.
Yeah, and an entrance plan also, something I learned in recovery.
Yeah.
Entrance and exit plan.
Yeah.
That you don't communicate on the spot, you communicate before you even leave. Advance. Those are very important.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into boundaries in this next category. But I do have some reflective questions for
There's
our
two of them
couples.
on this one.
So reflective questions for journal prompting or just to kind of on the spot is, what do you need from your spouse to feel supported in the holiday season?
Yep.
So what do you need from your spouse to feel supported in the holiday season? And then the next question is, where might you need to speak up rather than silently resent?
Well, that's a good question.
You know, we talk about communication a lot, and that's one of the things that we really pride ourselves in, and the work that we've done personally and the work that we do to help our couples in our coaching. But where might you need to speak up rather than silently resent?
So I'm gonna be a little preachy here.
Oh, goodness.
Just a little bit.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it's a good one, though, all right? What do you need from your spouse to feel supported this season?
Yeah.
All right. Husbands, listen to me. All right. Ephesians 5:25. My favorite scripture for spouses, for husbands.
It is his favorite scripture because I hear it quite often.
That's right, right? And
it's a good one. It's not
right,
bad. It's just,
right.
I know this is his favorite.
Husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church and Christ died for the church. Right. So there's times, husbands, right, that we're going to have to die to self in order to keep peace with our wife, in order to support our wife. Now, but what about us? Okay, great question, and I feel it's a legitimate question. If you want your wife to support you as leaders of the house, if we're not supporting our wife, how are they going to support us?
It returns to
It returns.
Yeah.
And believe me, since I've been implementing that for the last, moreover in the last 5 years, I would say, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's really changed our relationship a ton.
I want to give to him when I feel supported and loved,
Right,
and I'm sure he wants to give when he feels supported and loved. So it goes both ways.
And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, Cathy feels extremely safe with me anymore. Extremely safe. So let's jump into boundaries that create peace, not guilt.
Yeah.
This is a tough subject, right?
Guilt can rear its head in this.
Exactly, and it doesn't have to, and it's understandable when it rears its head.
Yeah.
Okay, boundaries are not punishment; they're protection. Who are they protection for, Cathy?
They're protecting me. When I set my boundary, it's
exactly
for me.
right.
Yeah.
Boundaries protect because they define where you end and someone else begins. Okay, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and relationally. Without boundaries, relationships don't become closer.
Nope.
They become confusing, resentful, and unsafe.
I can say that I related to that at some point in our marriage.
All right. So saying no without explanation, overload.
Yeah.
Okay.
No is a complete sentence.
It's a complete
That's
sentence.
what I teach my girls. No is a complete
It's
sentence.
a complete sentence,
Yeah,
right?
that's good.
So feeling guilty when you set a boundary, especially when you haven't been setting them all your life, is part of the growth.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yep. It's gonna
know
feel
that that's natural because you're doing something you haven't done in the past.
Yeah.
And so saying no when in the past you would have said yes to the same thing.
And built a resentment.
And built a resentment. Saying no, you're going to feel a little guilty, and I want you to feel that. It's natural. Temporary. It's only natural. Yeah. It's a growth pattern, right? Yeah. So here's some examples, right, of boundaries. Limiting time at gatherings, right? Like I said earlier, okay, going over your mom, dad's, Uncle Tom's there, blah, 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 blah. Or I know it's Christmas morning tomorrow. I got to get up and still go to work. I got to be at the station at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I don't want to spend the whole night there, right?
Right.
So you've got to honor each other's boundaries. Leaving early if necessary, like I brought up just a minute ago. And then declining toxic conversations and gossip.
Right.
Right. Just don't even get involved in those, right? He said, she said, Uncle Tom says, Aunt Betty said. No, it's Christmas time. Stay out of those. Yeah. So now I'll talk about the healing path, my book I just released, because in chapter 4 on page 202, there's a whole section on boundaries. Because in everybody's life, boundaries are one of the hardest things to set, and it's extremely important. There it is right there. It's available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Audible, all of them. So there's a little reading for you if you choose to do so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like this part too, what boundaries do.
What boundaries do, right? Teaching others how to treat us.
Yeah.
Boundaries treat others how to treat us, right?
They teach others how to treat us, and that's so, so true.
You and I have had to set boundaries for each other,
Yeah.
and it's not comfortable. In fact, I would go as far as saying this. When you start setting boundaries with each other, your loved ones, it's going to come out like sideways.
Yeah.
It does kind of come out
Mushy.
sideways. Yeah, it's like...
Not a lovey mushy.
Not a love. It's
yeah,
like...
it's like greasy.
And that's
Yeah.
okay. Why? Because you've never done it before. You're something new, and you have a little fear that I'm setting this boundary that I've never had before.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right? So are they going to reject me?
Yeah.
Are they going to kick me out of the... Whatever.
But I will say for myself, when I learned to set those boundaries the first time, yeah, it was uncomfortable. It felt ugly. Each time I set them, it became easier and easier. And this is one of the things that I share with the girls that I work with, is that we've got to be consistent in order to change. So it's one of those things where consistency and change of behavior over time, which means we have to set boundaries over and over and over.
And if that boundary comes with a consequence for that person, that's a consequence attached to it for the person, that if he breaks that boundary, you've got to follow through with that consequences. You cannot back down. Right?
Yeah, I like to say this too. It sometimes feels like setting the boundary is easy.
Yeah.
It's following through.
That's fine.
That's the hard part.
Yeah. All of our clients have had a hard time following through.
But
Absolutely.
that again is consistency as well. So what's our reflective question?
Our reflective question is, what boundary would actually create more peace in your home?
I'm not sure I'm prepared to answer this question right now, but for some people, they may need to look at that. And it's a little different, it's just you and I in the house right now. But, well, I know one boundary that could create more peace in my home right now. And I've already said it, and I'll just share it, is we have a puppy who is 9 months old.
I don't go there.
And Randy was ready to leave him out of the kennel when we're not home.
Oh, my God.
And I am been reminded that puppies are puppies, and they will be puppies, and puppies like to chew, and they like to get in trouble. And so I have set a boundary that we have to wait till...
Meaning?
Otis is 12 months. It's till he's 1 year that I might feel confident. And the reason I am setting that boundary is in the past, we made good money, and we could replace a couch, we could replace flooring, we could replace a shoe.
We only had to do with Miller.
Well, I know.
He tore up the whole carpet in the living room.
That was a PTSD for me.
My
Having
God.
a dog that tore apart a couch,
the
lines,
carpet in the front room.
I mean, it was a mess. So for me, that was the boundary I recently have set, is that Otis needs to stay in his kennel when we're not home until he's a year old.
I haven't fought it.
Yeah, that's not a holiday boundary, but that was a boundary within us.
Well,
so.
yeah, boundary's a boundary, right?
Yeah.
I almost broke it the other day, but I said better not.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Because as it was, we were gone more than I thought. We were longer than we thought we were going to be.
We're not
I
going to
was
do that.
meeting you somewhere, so.
Yeah, not at all. So I want to talk a little bit now about creating emotional safety for our children and our grandchildren.
Yes.
Because, depending on where you are and what stage of life, there's either children or there is grandchildren. So what we want to remember is kids don't need perfect holidays. It's the memories that are being created. But they don't need perfect holidays. They just need safe ones. They need to feel safe in their holiday. They need to have memories being created. They need to have fun. We want to give them something to remember. And so how we can do that is by modeling calm responses. We can also repair after conflict, because conflict's going to happen. But if our kids and our grandkids see us coming up to, if I came up to you and said, I'm sorry I raised my voice at you, they're going to learn that that's okay. Right. That they don't have to be perfect, but they do have to repair the conflict. And then respectful communication is really key. How are we communicating? Because remember, everything in life is a learned behavior. And if we are not modeling and demonstrating respectful communication, honestly, truly, if you're really understand this, you can't expect respectful communication from your kids. So it's really important that we model that respectful communication.
It goes back to, I'm going to say this and people are going to not agree with me, respect is earned, not just given. And yes, even to your children. Because if you're treating them disrespectfully, How do you expect them to respect
Well, that's
you?
not respectful communication. So,
No, it's not at all. So that's what I'm saying,
Yeah, you
right?
have
It's
to model
now,
that respectful communication.
they're kids. You can model it perfectly.
There's discipline
And
that's
it's like,
necessary.
if they blow it, you just call a timeout. You sit them down. Kathy's good at this, and all of our kids are good at this. You ask them, why did I put you on a timeout?
Yeah,
And you have that conversation with them and say, look, I don't talk to you that way. Right? It's not do as I say, not as I do. That goes out the window a long time ago.
Yeah, no, that's
not
true.
how I talk to you. And all I want is the same respect.
Yeah.
And actually, Cathy and I went through that with Cathy. There was a period of time. I said, Cathy, how do I speak to you? That's all. This in the recovery. That's all. I just want you to speak to me the same way I speak to you.
Yeah, that's why I say we have to model it for our kids to get it. So
right? Absolutely.
the other thing I think that's really important is we have to give permission to our kids and our grandkids to feel their emotions.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I grew up with, and I also said it several times to our own children, is don't cry or I'll give you something to cry about. You know, so what I'm doing is I'm taking away the emotions of crying. And what is behind that crying emotion? Maybe there's fear, maybe there's sadness, maybe there's anger. So now I've taken away their ability to process those emotions in a healthy way because I'm stopping those emotions.
Yeah,
so
it's just
give your grandkids permission to feel those emotions.
and ask them what's wrong.
Yeah.
Don't do it in public. Don't scold in public. Ask them, hey, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you hurt? Right? I mean...
And I think, too, in order to give our kids and grandkids permission to feel the emotions, we have to give ourselves permission to feel our own emotions.
So...
in a safe place, obviously.
Garrett, one time, he told me I said something to him. He goes, Dad, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing to him. He was right. I said something that hurt his feelings. I let him have his feelings, and I went and I apologized to him. Right? I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, suck it up, buttercup. What do you mean I hurt your feelings?
Right.
No. They got feelings and emotions. Acknowledge them.
Yeah, let them have them.
It's real simple.
Yeah.
Right?
And the other thing that I think is really important to create that emotional safety with our children or grandchildren is we want to break those generational patterns.
Right.
So this is where we ultimately want to do differently than what we grew up with to break those.
If you're one of those sarcastic people, which a lot of families have sarcastic people,
that was our family.
Right? Okay. And you're being sarcastic to one of your children, young children, or your grandchildren, and they say, don't, stop it. Don't keep on instigating it. Right? Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger to cause them to be discouraged.
Yeah.
Uncles, brothers, grandpas, do not provoke your children to be
Moms,
to be discouraged,
grandmas,
to anger. Right? Anybody.
Yeah.
They ask you to stop. They're trying to set a boundary with you. Stop.
Yeah.
I do it with all my grandchildren.
Yeah.
I was calling for a little while I was calling Maverick Meathead or something like that. He goes, Grandpa, don't call me Meathead. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't.
Terms of endearment that they don't like. Okay, they don't like it.
They don't like it. That's okay, right?
So I have a reflective question for you. What emotional atmosphere do you want your children or grandchildren to remember? What emotional atmosphere do you want your children or your grandchildren to remember?
It kind of comes back to, you can buy your child, grandchild, all the gifts in the world. A year from now, they'll forget about those. But what they're not going to forget is those emotions. How you treated them.
How you navigated with them.
That's right.
Not against them, but invited them into them.
Grandpa, they're so mean to me. Oh, man, I love Grandpa. Let's go Grandma and Grandpa's, right?
That's good.
So you got to be careful, right?
Yeah,
Don't try to buy your children's and grandchildren's love. You have to earn it.
Be present in it.
Be present in their life.
Yeah,
right?
that's so good.
So let's create a new definition of a successful Christmas. What does that look like? Shifting from performance to presence. Just be present. Just being there.
Yeah.
Right? I love watching my grandkids. We are all my grandkids. Little Maverick's an absolute riot to walk and listen to and talk to. Our granddaughters are beautiful. And then, when we get together at Garrett's house with Hope and Roland, and all their friends come over, right, or all the cousins come over, whatever, just watching them play and have fun is an absolute blessing to us.
Yeah.
Right? It is. I mean, they're kids.
Yeah.
They're enjoying life, right?
Go out and play the game.
Go out and play the
with
games.
them.
Get
Yeah.
dirty, right? And
Paint their nails, color. What was it at Thanksgiving? All the kids were over doing. What was it? They were coloring. Hope had pulled out some Thanksgiving coloring
right.
Papers, and so I went and sat down with all the kids, and I just felt good to be present. Of course, I love to color and be crafty,
right.
but it just feels good to be present with the kids.
Well, plus also what was really cool, you made that
The Friendsgiving tree.
The Friendsgiving
The
tree,
thankful tree.
the thankful tree, and all the kids went out there and wrote something on it and participated, and that was, and our granddaughter was the one making sure they all did that,
so
right?
being present.
Yeah, being present, right?
Yeah.
So, how do we measure success?
Yeah.
Right. And what does it look like? Well, this kind of success doesn't have nothing to do with finances.
Right.
Because that's just limited, temporary.
Yeah.
But it's connection.
Yeah.
Be connected. It's kindness,
Yeah.
right?
Ooh.
It's emotional regulation,
Yeah.
right? Your emotions get stirred up, walk outside, take a walk in the sunshine, maybe grab a friend, a trusted friend or your spouse and just say, I'm struggling right now.
Make a phone call if you
Make a
have
phone
to.
call. I mean, do whatever you got to do, but keep your
Call a
emotion.
friend.
Call a friend, man. I mean,
Yeah.
something we learned to do in the program.
Yeah.
Call somebody.
Yeah.
But learn how to regulate your emotions. They're real.
Yeah.
They're absolutely real, but we don't always have to act on them.
Right.
Right?
Right. We
And
can
what we
respond.
think, we don't always have to say. Peace is practiced. It's not achieved. We have to practice peace.
And I think the other thing that's important too is we need to allow imperfection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things are not going to go right
No.
always,
What's
but we
more-
need to be more flexible in imperfection.
Oh, yeah. Like people have a hard, they're beating themselves up. I go, let me see your hands.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. There ain't no holes in
Ain't
them.
no holes in them.
Right?
Yeah.
So, so these are all things that we can do to make Christmas more successful.
Yeah, I love
right?
that. Yeah.
So the reflective question, what would it look like to choose presence over perfection this Christmas?
Yeah.
Presence, not presence, presence over perfection this Christmas.
Yeah. That's all I want is presence. I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to
No.
have everything look a certain way. So
That-
I'm grateful that
That doesn't work.
the little shifts that we have made, and I think this goes with maturity, is
Yeah.
that, we're more present in everything.
But I want to say this, honestly, if I'd have had people like us feeding into my life when I was younger, maybe it would have been a lot better. Maybe, we don't know for sure, but I just have a feeling. I mean, that saying that Roy taught me, be the father today that you always wanted to have. Be the father to your children today that you always wish you had. Cathy and I both carry that into our mentoring, our coaching, everybody we work with.
Yeah.
Be that person that you needed in your life, right? Be that person to other people,
Yeah.
right? It's easy to do.
Yeah.
It not only will fill their heart, but it's going to fill your heart, I guarantee
Yeah.
you.
It
right?
always feels good.
Right. So,
yeah, I love that.
so we hope this episode gave you insight and encouragement as you navigate this Christmas season.
Yeah.
Right? We really do. Something we shared resonated with you. We invite you to pass it along to someone who may need it today.
Yeah.
None of us walk through this season alone, and sometimes simply hearing these words spoken can bring comfort and clarity. As we often say in recovery, we must give it away to keep it, so give it away today.
And I'll just add to this, my friend Cathy always says, sharing is caring.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
share it.
She always says that, huh?
Yeah.
So a little thing I want you to remember, it's part of the St. Francis prayer, and I did this one year, and it changed the day, the 180 degrees.
Yeah.
So when things get tough, maybe your spouse is having a hard time, whatever, remember this. It's better to comfort than to be comforted. It's better to understand than to be understood. And it's better to love rather than to be loved. I know that's tall order, but I promise you, if you can practice that towards somebody else, it's going to come back tenfold to you that day.
Well, and I think, the more you do that, the more you receive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it comes back around. And so the more you can comfort, you're going to be comforted. The more you understand, you're going to be understood. And the more that you love, you will be loved.
Essentially,
Making the other person first.
Make the other person first, right? And that is exactly what the Bible says. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yeah, it's so
right?
good.
I mean, so you have a choice today to make this Christmas probably the best that you've had in many years.
Yeah, I agree.
But only you can make that choice.
Yeah.
You can't make it for me. You know, my kids can't make it for me. It's my choice.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So, from our hearts to yours, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas and peaceful, meaningful week with your family and friends.
Yes, we do.
All right. And remember this. If nobody tells you they love you, Randy does.
Cathy does.
More importantly, God does. And you're all a huge gift to Cathy and I.
Yes, absolutely.
Be blessed, everybody.
Have a great week and Merry Christmas.